Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Jody here. It is the 29th of November 2016, coming to you from the Right Gully in the Ottawa Valley, Ontario, Canada. It is above 0 Celsius, and there was freezing rain overnight, and it's now warm enough that there's nothing but just misty, wet air and a cool dampness. And I haven't been down in the gully in a week, and I thought I would come and check it out, take some time to just be here and do a card reading, and I thought I'd share that. And so I'm going to, from the Earth Magic Oracle deck by Stephen D. Farmer. And it's the new moon today, and that is a new moon in Sagittarius, and it is the end of 2016. We're about to enter December 2016, the last month of the year that was. And I've been thinking a lot about how this has, for me, been the best year I can remember in this lifetime. And at the same time, hugely transformative, as we always are being in the world. And interesting. One of the things that I was informed about was the concept of altering timelines, and that this timeline that we have managed to shift has taken us back to the 80s. And in the 80s, I was in high school and university through the 80s. The 14 to 21 zone. Anyway, all that to say, I have no interest in going back to the 80s. I'm all about right now and creating a different future based on what I believe is possible, as opposed to what has already transpired. So I think that's a big message of this new moon, that it's about letting go of the past. And instead of fearing potential futures based on the past, imagine magical, spectacular future based on the right now. So all that to say, I'm going to pull a card and ask the universe for any sort of wisdom that would be beneficial to all of us on this new moon, November 29th, 2016, and just the last few days before we enter the last month of this year. And I do, as I've watched, or anyway, everybody has their own style, but I do it similar to Doreen Virtue. I shuffle the deck and pray, ask for guidance, and then I wait to see what the deck has to say. And that is when a card pulls itself out, then shows itself, I trust that that's the card that I'm supposed to be reading. So the card that I've drawn right today is Dragonfly Emergence. And I'll read Dragonfly Emergence. Dragonfly. It's such a beautiful image against the... In the stages of the life cycle of a dragonfly, once the egg is laid upon a floating plant or dropped into the water, it gestates, hatches, and may remain for up to 4 years in this larval form called a nymph. This is a precursor to the dragonfly. Dragonflies skip the cocoon stage, moving from eggs directly to nymph. At some point, the nymph climbs onto the rock or leaf and there emerges from its former body and takes on the shape and character of the adult dragonfly. This radiant being then proceeds to illuminate our eyes and our hearts as we witness its dramatic colors and magical dance along the surface of the water. In this card, we see a nature goddess, like the dragonfly, emerging from the water, her hair braided with vines dotted with flowers. She's surrounded by dragonflies and is one with the vibrant plant life thriving in the pond. The goddess emerges from her gestation in the water, transformed, with a renewed sense of power and purpose. You are in an intense process of emerging into the next cycle of life. Unlike more gradual shifts in awareness you have experienced, this one is happening quite rapidly and came on somewhat unexpectedly without any pause for contemplation or indecision. You may even think that you are unprepared for such a dramatic change in your life, yet you are prepared and can put to use the experiences and wisdom you have accumulated to now. Life is demanding that you move into the next stage of maturity. This requires you to adjust your thinking about yourself, others, and your community, and it calls for you to shed yet another layer of your ego's defenses and let go of any illusion of being less than who you are. This period of emergence is one of broadened consciousness and heightened perceptual capacities. And since it is inevitable, it is best to surrender to the flow and allow yourself to gracefully move into the next cycle of your life. So, on this new moon, I'm imagining that in this new cycle of life that we're going into, which here in the location that I am is the sleep state, the dark times, and the death times, and that looking after myself and making sure that I nurture myself and take time to spend in nature with my dirty dog, which you can't see, but it's quite a sight. And hey, there's Kiva. Anyway, it's time now to look after yourself, because it's only when you're feeling good and grounded and happily in the present moment that you'll be able to project a beautiful future filled with abundance and peace and harmony. So, wishing everybody new moon blessings, and I'm going to start moving now because it's just that chill dampness that starts to set in when I'm not moving. Anyway, I'm going to be moving and enjoying, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.